Hi everyone, welcome to another unboxing, and this one is the Cocoa Daisy Inklings Collection, which I'm actually very excited. I haven't even opened it. All I've done is lifted it out of the box so that we can do it together. So let's get straight into it. Okay, ooh, this looks exciting. Okay, when I saw Christine show what this theme was, I thought, oh, this is right up my alley. I love this sort of stuff. So that is so cute. That's a little vinyl sticker. That is really my sort of aesthetic that I love. Okay, so I get quite a few different kits. So I get the stationery kit, the journaling kit, and I've just upgraded it for next month to get the deluxe journaling kit. It's taken me a long time to be able to get a spot and switch over from the standard to the deluxe. The creative kit, and I get the scrapbooking and the planner kit. I get the dashboards, the 4x6 stamp, subscription. So one of these must be the one that comes in the kit, and one must be an extra one that I bought. I'm not sure what that is. I'll have to look it up in my invoice and see if I added an extra one in to see which one of these doesn't come with the kit. And I also get the classic size Happy Planner inserts. So I'll just move all this to the side and we might as well start with the inserts. Okay, so let's have a look at these. Oh, very nice. Okay, let's make sure I don't miss a page. Okay. I do like the paper in these. The front cover one's always a bit thicker, so you can actually use that as a dashboard in your discbound planner, because that's where I use these. And then the pages are a little bit thinner, but they're still a very good quality paper. That is so nice. I like that design. Messy typewriter. I've got an old typewriter I use. That's what my typewriting always comes out like, messy like that. It's funny, when I was a kid, I can remember, because I'm 59, so it was before computers when I was a kid. And I can remember as a young teenager in high school, all I wanted for Christmas one year was an electric typewriter. And I was so disappointed because my parents could only afford a manual typewriter, but my best friend got an electric typewriter, and I was so jealous. So it took me until I got my first job to have an electric typewriter. And it was so fancy to have one with the autocorrect. Showing my age now. Okay. Got off track then. So you get all your weekly boxes. These are designed so that you can fold them over in the middle. So they're perforated down the middle, and then you can either write your grocery list or your to-do list on here and then tear it off, but you've still got your weekly format left in your planner. Or you can just use it as like a flip out. So that's how I tend to use it. Use it as a flip out and fold it over, and then you can put, instead of having another one of these underneath, I would put a decorative page underneath, so that when you're looking at your page this way, you've got a decorative sheet there, and then you can open it up to see that. But I think that's a brilliant idea that Christine does. So you get multiple pages of those. But it's the design of this month's kit is just absolutely beautiful. I really love it. Sorry, I'm frothing over it, but it's just really my aesthetic. I love anything to do with mixed media and fountain pens and all that sort of stuff, so that's why it's right up my alley. And this is the 4x6 stamp. And I absolutely love this. I have a journal where I keep track of all the fountain pens and the inks I buy. So I'll be able to use that in that. And these sorts of stamps are perfect for mixed media. Or in your planner. I use my mixed media techniques in my planner as well. And I love this font. That's really good. The Messy Typewriter font. Yes, I really like that one. Okay, so let's look at the dashboards. Okay, so you get both sizes. So this is an A5 size, and this is a personal size. I use these as, I don't use a personal size planner, but I do use a standard size traveller's notebook. So I would use these in my standard size traveller's notebook as a tip-in. So we'll have a look at the big ones because it's easier for you to see. So February. A blank page is just an invitation to begin. Sometimes it's an invitation to have a mental block and you can't think what you're going to do with it. But once you just get started, it just comes naturally. To create is not to perfect, but to gift life a story it never expected. That's so true. Oh, that's a nice one. Ink splotches. Dream it, plan it, write it, do it. If you don't want to use these like in that format, I use a gyro cut. That's the standard gyro cut. And you can use your gyro cut to actually cut these out. So even if you want to cut something out in the middle of the page, these work really well for those. So most of my fussy cutting, I actually use a gyro cut, not scissors. It takes a bit of a, it takes a little bit of a while to get used to how to use it. But basically, hope you can see it. It's on an angle, the blade. If you basically start your cut with the pointy part, like the pointy part of the blade in your paper, and then drag it towards the direction of the blade. So you put your point in and then drag towards. And you don't take your blade out to go off the paper to go around a corner. Move your paper. It will swivel around on its own, but it works better if you're coming down to a corner and you want to come around. Move your paper around as you're going around with this, and that works better. It works better if you don't lift your gyro cut off the whole time that you're cutting the item out. I will do a demonstration on how to use the gyro cut at one point, but I'm getting sidetracked. So that's the dashboards. Okay, we'll start with the smaller ones first. So we'll do the journaling kit next. Okay, so this is a mint green background with blue leaves and looks like white flowers. So it could, like, similar to baby's breath, if you know what the baby's breath is. Similar sort of flower to that, which that is really nice. A little ink, a little chaos, and a lot of magic. Another good tip-in card. And it also gives you some February journaling prompts. Do the stickers in a minute. So these are rub-ons. So you get a paddle pop stick. So for those of, most people know how to use rub-ons, but if just in case you don't, what you do is you leave both sheets to take it out of the plastic. Actually, I'll show you. I'm not sure if the light will reflect on the plastic, so I'll just take it out and show you. This is just for people who are new and don't use rub-ons. Rub-ons have been around for, donkey's years. At least 20 years. But they've just improved the quality of them over the years, so they work really well now. So there's two layers. A clear layer on the top that looks almost like pet tape, but it's not. It's not sticky. And then there's a backing sheet that's just there to stop this rubbing off onto something. So get your scissors, cut out the image that you want and leave everything else on the sheet. take the backing with you, so to cut out both layers. Then you take the piece you've cut out, put it on your project, but just the clear top layer, so you can discard the bottom layer once you put it on your project. Smooth it down. It'll be a little bit sticky to stay there, but it's not a sticker. It won't stay there. As soon as you move it away, it will come off. But if you've rubbed it with your finger, don't move it, because sometimes just the pressure of your finger will transfer some of it. So once you've put it in your paper, don't put pressure on it until you're sure that's where you're putting it. Then you can rub it with your finger to hold it in place, and then you rub all across the top of the image, and that transfers whatever is on here onto the paper. There's no bulk, so it's totally flat once it's on there. It's no shine, it'll be a matte finish. But what you do, you need to make sure that it's all rubbed off. So I start, once I've rubbed it all over, I start in one corner and lift it up carefully. And then if it looks like it's all attached, it will come, if it's all transferred rather, it will come off quite easily. If it's coming off with a little bit of a resistance, it means some of it hasn't transferred. So what you can do is keep rubbing. So say this is on top of your paper. While you're holding this bit, you can keep rubbing as you're lifting in the direction that you're lifting it. Then that way, if there's any little bits left on it, you'll get it in that last pass. Don't try and put it back down if you've taken it fully off. It doesn't work. So if you leave some of the image behind, just treat it as though that was meant to happen, and no one will ever know. But yeah, you're better off not to move it at all until you've made sure all the images has transferred across. I always put mine back in the packet, because if that was floating around and came separate from the backing sheet, it could come off while it's in storage onto something else. So that's that one. So this has got all some important things to do, appointment and the month on it. So that's another rub on. So these ones are stickers. Oh, I just store my paddle pop sticks in there, so I'll know where they are. So this one's your stickers. These are a journaling set. So you get heaps of days of the weeks and your dates and things. That's a whole background sticker. Now, a lot of different places use these, and they are very sticky. This one is a bit thicker, but some of the companies that I get from, the washi paper is very, very thin. And if you peel it back and then it sticks onto itself over this side, I won't do it because I don't want to wreck it. When it separates, you'll either get creases in it or it'll damage it. So what you do with any of these full washi sheets is you peel up the top and then get a ruler. I'll put it back onto itself, but pretend that's your paper. So you've stuck that onto your paper. You then have the backing, if that was your paper, peeled back, and you're going to pull this backing back as you push this forward. So if I push that forward now, it's just going to go back onto the backing. But see how using a ruler puts it back on flat? That's what you want to do. So as you're pulling it off putting it onto your paper, you want to pull your ruler down like this as you're pulling the backing off from underneath. So this is going to be underneath. This is going to be lifted up and slightly on your page. I'll actually show you. I don't care if I put this in my journal today, so I'll actually show you how to do it. Okay, so you watch, because I'm showing you it won't do it today, but anyway, I'll show you. Okay, so you peel this off, position it where you want it to go so that you've lined it up. Put your ruler in the bit where you've already stuck it down, grab your backing sheet, and then drag the backing sheet at the same time as you're pulling this off, and it goes on totally flat. So it looks like that's going to be a Cocoa Daisy page on that now. But yes, that's how you get it to go on flat. So the main thing is, if you try to pull that off, and have it as a big sticker, if it folds over onto itself, I haven't ever tried it with Cocoa Daisy to see if it does it, but I've tried it with other brands, or accidentally tried it with other brands. It sticks to each other and then it will become ruined and crinkly. Still use it, even if one of these washi sheets goes down crinkled. I'd never throw it away. I would still use it and just put it down as texture on the paper. I add a lot of texture to my things with volume paste and things like that anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. But you wouldn't want to throw it away because you're missing out on that item then. So there's ways to fix it. So still use it. But that is the best way. If you want it to go down flat, that's the best way to put it down. Okay. So did we finish the stickers or did I get sidetracked? I think we totally got sidetracked. Okay, so this is the next page. An alphabet. These are all like a washi sticker. Lots of fun items there. She did one years ago with a very similar sort of theme. I didn't have a look to see if I've got any of that kit left. But that was one of my favourite ones, but I might not have any left because I did love that one. And this is like all paint swatches when you're testing your inks or paints. So that's that kit. And we'll do the stationery one. Ooh, this is a, let's undo this one. This is a skinny washi tape, but it's all pens, which that's really cool. It's on the end. Oh wow, that is really cool. I like that. Where's the repeat? That's the repeat there. No, 3 pens. That's the repeat back there. But that is really cool. I like that. That sort of thing can come in very handy because you can just use one element, like one pen off it, put it as a border, use it in my fountain pen or my pen ink swatch book. And if it goes back on the roll the way it's supposed to. Oh well. So that's that washi. These are just little paper clips. They're cute. Hang off your planner. That's a little coffee cup and a rainbow spiral of ink swatches. That's really cute. Get my ruler out of the way. Leather patch. That's really nice. See if it's sticky on the back. Yep. So it's a leather sticker, so you could put that inside your, just grabbing a journal, you could put that inside if you had especially if you had a brown one. You could put it on that one, I suppose. If you had a brown one, you could put that on the inside and that would look really cool. Sorry, that's not Cocoa Daisy, that's Planner Perfect. I'll do that in another video. Okay. These are little badges, but I use them as a magnet. So this clip in here, you can pull it out and then you can put a magnet in the back and then use it that way. So it's really cute. Little sticky note. I love these ones that are designed like as a note or a tag, or she did one that was like a little index library card and a few other things. I find them very useful in planning rather than just a decorative one. A decorative one you can only use so many times and it sometimes clashes with the decoration of your layout if you're not using the same theme. Whereas something like this, as long as you've got those colours in your layout, you can put that with anything. So Christine, I love this sort of sticky note rather than always a decorative one because they're just so much more useful to get use of the whole thing. Okay, we'll move these over so I can show you these. These are stickers as well. So these are like a vinyl sticker. Got a camera. Little paint swatch. Paint brushes. That's a pen. Yeah, that's a fine liner. Planners. Watercolours, small planners. Very thin paintbrush. Or it could be a calligraphy brush maybe. I think it's a paintbrush. Ink swatch. Stapler, washi. Little tote. Cool. I like these collages that are already done. It makes things quick. Oh, pen, I like that. It's cute. Pen bottle. I'm like, this is going to make... I'm going to have to redo my ink swatch book. This is going to look really good in there. Fountain pen. Paints. That could be a coffee cup, or it could be a cup you use to wash your paints in. On a camera. Very cool. I do like these vinyl stickers because they're a lot harder to rip than a paper sticker. So if you accidentally stick it down on something else, or it gets attached to this sticky bit of the paper, it doesn't rip if you try to take it off. So I like that part about it. Okay, these are just paper stickers. These are good in a smaller planner than the one that came in the journaling kit. I don't always use them with the decorations. A lot of these you can mix in your planner with other things. So if it's not theme specific and it's just a colour, you can use them anytime. Okay, I'll turn this over so you can see this one. Use the back better. These are pet stickers, which is really cool. Journaling card, which is a postcard. Transparency. Love that. This is a vellum. I'm going to have so much fun with this kit, Christine. Okay, this is the creative kit. So I probably should have told you that. Okay, this is a delusional ink spray. So what you do with this is to give it a splatter look. So see how she's got these splatters on here? This is not a splatter, but this is a rub-on. But see, to give it this look, that's what this is designed for. So when you're going to use a delusional spray, use a cardboard box or something. I wouldn't just sit here and spray it on my desk, because sometimes, especially if you've already used it multiple times, sometimes the nib, the nozzle thing, can get a little bit of a clog. So get a cardboard box. You can actually buy a cardboard spraying booth. It's like a box that's cut open, but just use a cardboard box. Put whatever you're going to spray or your journal. If you're using a traveler's notebook, take your insert out of your leather cover, put it in the box, and then spray. And this is the last thing you do. The other way you can do splatters is you get a paint pen or a bottle of ink like this. This is white acrylic ink. You get this, take out the dropper, and then you tap it with a brush very, very lightly. Scrapbook.com in America also make a pen. I don't know where it is at the moment, but it's just a water brush pen, and it's full of black ink or white ink. You can use that as well. And it just gives it, depending on your layout, you'll either use black or white usually, and it just gives a finished arty look. So that's what these splatters and text on your layout, or splatters on your, or ink swatches on your layout do to a page, whether it's a planner page or a mixed media page. It just gives it a more arty vibe, and you can turn a layout that is a generic sticker into something that you've created that looks more generic and to your taste. So that's what I love these for. So these delusional sprays are very, very good. It's just basically, I think it's a water-based ink with shimmer. So it's got pearlescent shimmer in it. So it'll give it a shimmery black look. It's not a matte finish black look. Another washi tape. So this one looks like it's more of a collage. Just all the different images that she's used in the stickers and everything like that as a collage, which will look really good on a page. So I love that one. Okay, I'll do the die cuts in a minute. Let's see what's in this one. This should be journaling cards or something. Okay, cool. So this one's like a Polaroid cover for a photo or journaling, and you pop that out and you can use that for journaling, and then you can put that over the top of a photo. So I love that one. Just sort of like colour theory. Talking about, I welcome the mess and the magic. Yes, I do too. I love that. Show up and let the world meet your best self. Hot drinks makes mornings tolerable. Create. Life perfect, wonderful. That's about February. Colour palette. Oh, that's nice. Love the artwork on that. The other, you can get splatters out of your fountain pen too, but I don't know if that's good for your fountain pen. If someone who knows a lot more about fountain pens than me knows if using it for splattering like that's going to damage your lid, let me know. Okay, watercolour artist pad. To put this in your planner, rip the sheet off and use it as a tip-in your planner. Probably, it's quite thick paper. It's 190 GSM paper. So you could either create something on this and use it as a cover maybe, and make a little, put it on as a cover on this size, or a 5x7, or tip it in, or it's the size of a photo. So if you had a larger journal and put it in as a decorative piece on your page, it would look really cool as well. Okay, so this is like a little paper pad, and they're a thinner paper so that it doesn't add as much bulk to as what that would to a journal or a hardcover journal. So you get 2 of each, so you get 2 of that one. That's the same pattern I used on that sticker. And 2 of the paint swatches. 2 of that one. 2 spotties. Tags. So yeah, as I said, use your gyro cut to cut the tag out if you want to use an individual tag as a backing in a collage. Oh, that's nice. And that was the pattern that was on that first washi. It looks like baby's breath. Very good. Good spot to write on there. That'll look really good. Lovely. Okay, so I'll move those, and then we just got to quickly do these ones. Sorry, this is going to be a long video when I get all of the kits. Okay, these are more of a thicker die cut than the other ones. These are like more of a cardboard, but they're still a sticker from memory. Yes, they're still a sticker. Okay. Stack of books. Pen. Gel pen. Fine liner. Fountain pen. Paintbrush. Bunting. Cup of rosemary tea. It's got red, so it's, I don't know what colour tea that would be. Some sort of rosemary kind of tea. Planners. A little bag. Another bottle of ink. Washi. Stapler. Some tags. And then you get all of these tabs for your planner. I separate those out because I keep them separately from the kit. And then box, camera, open book, and some paint. So very good. So they are a bit thicker than the other ones, but they're still flat paper basically, so they don't add too much bulk. The only ones that add too much bulk in some planners is, especially if the paper that in the planner is thin, are the chipboard ones. They can be a little bit too thick, but there is a trick to peeling the backing off those to make them a little bit thinner if you want to. Let's keep all those and I'll get them out later. Okay, next one. Okay, these pouches, I absolutely love them because what I do, everything gets stored into the two of these. So I take the stamps out, especially if they're ones I'm going to use regularly. Take the stamps out and put them in my stamp drawer. Take the washi out usually, and then store everything that's flat in here. And they fit in my, I've got one of those really tall, thin DVD. It used to be for DVD storage or CD storage, and you can adjust the shelves. I store a lot of my Archer and Olive and that journals in there as well, and these fit perfectly on the shelves. So I love these storage pouches. Much better than a canvas bag like they used to come in, because you can't see what was in those canvas bags. So when she changed over to these, I loved it. Okay, mild liner. Zebra mild liner with a brush tip. Cool, I don't have any of those. I use all the zebra mild liners, but I don't have a brush tip one. That is really cool. Let's see what the colour is. Oh, that's going to be nice. Nice and bright for highlighting things. That's cool. Okay, a little plastic clip, which is cute, which is a little ink bottle. Oh, and then we get the little ink bottles. So you could have the one we had before with the pens up the top and then the ink bottles down the bottom. That'd be cool. Every month I say, oh, this is my favourite kit. And then the next month comes along and I say, oh, this is my favourite kit. So they're just all my favourite kits. I just love them. I've been buying from Cocoa Daisy for a very long time. I did have a break for a while because I wasn't, when I was working, I'm retired now, but when I was working, I didn't have time to plan as much as I was now. And I just had such a big build-up. I stopped doing it for a little while. But ever since I retired, I've been back to getting it every month, and I absolutely love it. These are more, this is the planner kit. This is either the scrapbooking or the planner kit. I get them mixed up because I get both of them. But these are some more of the die cuts. They're a little bit bigger than the other ones. So similar images, but just bigger. Maybe this is the planner kit, not the scrapbooking kit. Yeah, this is the planner kit. And then I like these tabs too. I use these all the time. So I tend to use these bigger ones for the month, like in my planner. So January, February, March. Then I use the smaller ones for like something else I'm tracking. So like when I track all my subscriptions I get, I'll have one with Cocoa Daisy, one with Planners Anonymous, one with something else on it. And then they don't stick out as much as the month. So I use them for different purposes. So I love those. Bulldog clips. Is that supposed... Oh, that's supposed to be block stamps. Yeah, that's block stamps. That's cool. And some paints. Okay. Oh, cute. Ink swatch bottle. They're sticky notes. Or it's a notepad. I'll see if they're sticky notes or a notepad. Yeah, sticky notes. Cool. I like that. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. This is what I was talking about earlier with the functioning notepads. That is really cool. So let's see what's in it. Oh, they're different. Okay. So you got your daily schedule, things that need doing, and then it repeats. That is really cool. I love it. Because they're functional. They're not just pretty, they're functional. I absolutely love that. Oh, and these are terrific. These are the little pockets. So they're a vinyl clear pocket. Oh, and they're pretty too. So you get two sizes, and they're just a little pocket. And then they're very sticky, and they can stick on the inside of your planner cover or on a page. So if you were going to stick the smaller one in here, you could stick it. This is a simple Daisy notebook. You could stick it, decorate this page first, and then stick that in there. And then you can store stickers or something that you're using on a regular basis in this book in there. So that's really cool. But these also stick onto the inside of a binder or whatever. It depends what material you're sticking it on, but they stick onto most things. I might as well show you the Daisy planner while I've got this here. Okay, so this is the Daisy planner. You can actually get a planner, but I get the simple Daisy notebook instead because I have so many planners, I don't need this as a planner. Plus I get the inserts in the Classic for planning, which I don't use for planning anyway. But, so this has got half the decorations already done for you. And then you just add your elements to it. So you could use this for your news media book or your health tracking book or basically anything. You can use it for memory keeping with small photos in it and just do a photo a day for the month or whatever. That is lovely. The designs this month are just right up my alley. I love it. I know I've said that multiple times, but and you've got to love a typewriter. Very good. Like that one. I cover these. Have I got one here to show you where I've covered it? No, next time I do a unboxing I'll show you. But yes, I cover these, so I'd get one of the papers and cover them. The easiest way I find to cover these sorts of books is a Xyron sticker machine. So I have the sticker machine and I also have the laminator, and I use both all the time. the reason I like the Xyron sticker machine rather than using glue around the edges is sometimes if you use liquid glue, it can bubble the paper and it doesn't go smoothly. If you just use tape runner, like one of these is a tape runner. This is an old Teresa Collins one that I've got. So this does dots, but you can get one that does tape as well. Over time, that deteriorates. So anything you're covering over time, if you don't use a liquid glue, it will come off with your tape runner. But why I don't use a tape runner and liquid glue is the bubbling effect. It's very easy to get a bubbling effect as it's drying and some of the tapes that you use, like you can use double-sided score tape, which is these things here, but this is very unforgiving. So if I put that down around the edges and it didn't line up properly, you can't fix it. So I use these a lot if I need something that's going to be strong, so that this sort of tape is extremely strong. It's not like the tape that you get in these guns. But I like the Xyron sticker machine because when you peel it off the backing to release the sticky, you can do it in a way where you do that same method that I showed you with the sticker before. How you stick it along here, line it up, make sure you've got it lined up properly, and then go like that, stop there, flip your book over, go like that, and it's perfectly flat and you don't get any bubbling on your cover. If you're a beginner, what you can do is have your decorative page bigger than your insert. So you can cut it to a little bit bigger than your insert. Then that way, if you go crooked, if you cut it to size, you can't go crooked. If you go crooked, you'll have a gap where you see the cover underneath. So while you're learning to do it, go a little bit wider. Put your cover on. If you want to, you can actually wrap it around on the inside like a border and then put a decorative piece here and you won't see it anyway. But you'll have a little bit of an edge sticking off. What you do then is you get one of these knives, put it down and run it along and cut the excess off. So that's how you cut the excess off the edges. But then that way, if you do go slightly crooked when you're putting it on, because you can't take it back off, it's permanent. So you can get a reusable, removable Xyron insert, but it'll come off. So you want the permanent one, but that's a way of getting it stuck down, go across the edge a little bit, go a little bit longer than your book, start in the one corner and feed it that way, and take the backing off as you go. And then it's so easy to cover them that way. And you don't get, it's fully stuck down, it'll never come off. So you can also use the laminated one to put the laminate on the top as well. Okay, a little pocket card. I didn't explain that well. Sorry, I just jumped back to what I thought about. If you're going to laminate the cover, you laminate it before you peel the sticky back off. So you feed it through the laminator to put the laminate on the top and then cut around the outside and then peel the back off, and then that's how you do it. I'll do a video on that to show you how that works too. Then that way you get the laminated cover. So these are your planner stickers. So you get stickers in all the kits that are different, but the reason that happens is so that if someone doesn't want to buy all the kits, they don't have to, and they still get stickers to put in their planner. So these stickers are smaller, so designed for a smaller size planner than the other ones. And the dates are smaller and that sort of stuff. You also get your little ring binder circles, but you can use those for other things as decoration in your planner. You get your icons, alphabets and bigger dates, some tab boxes and some stickers. This is another sheet of the clear pet stickers, similar to what I showed you before, just with different images on, which that's really cool. Okay, now these are papers, so this is what you could use to cover your book with. So they're folded in the middle just so it fits in the pouch, but you can actually open them up. So because they've got a crease, you probably wouldn't use them like that because you're going to end up with a crease. So if it was a scrapbook page that was 12 by 12, you'd end up with that crease there. You'd have to put a photo over or something to hide that crease. But she does do scrapbook papers in the 12 by 12. So if you do scrapbooking in that size album, just get those instead. But this works out perfect for using it like that. So if you didn't want this bit and you just want that bit, you just cut that off. And it's the right size. But if you want that part, which quite often that's how I would want it, I actually fold it around again, but then I only use half the paper. So in that case, what I would do is cut along with my guillotine or paper trimmer on that seam, use this as your front cover, and then you'll have a border on the back, and then put a coordinating plain colour or one of the other sheets out of the pack as your backing. Then that way it looks like a covered book, and that's your spine binding going around there, and your back stitches to just different colour. That's how I would do that if I wanted to use this edge of the paper rather than using the crease, because then you're throwing this away. But then you could use that if it was a pattern all over, like if you wanted to use this side and you cut that bit off, don't throw your scraps away, you can use it inside your cover. If I ramble too much, just fast forward me or something, because I tend to get sidetracked as I'm going along. So there's all the same patterns that we've seen right throughout, but just in a thicker paper and larger, so you can use it for different things. Okay, so the last one, scrapbooking kit. So this washi is the swatches, the little paint swatches to run along. Very cute. Another stamp pad with your ink bottles. I love the stamps this month. I'm going to use those all the time. That is really cool too. Okay, I'll save that for a minute because that's a new product. I want to have a look at that one. These are little glue dot, like they look like glue blobs with glitter in them. But it's have I got any? Some of you might know what glossy accents are. You can make these yourself with glossy accents or Nuvo drops. You can do a blob like this with those as well, and they dry hard. But these are really quick because you're not having to wait for anything to dry. So I love those. And they just add colour and texture to your top of your page. You can also use these as bullet points. So if you want decorative bullet points, instead of using a pen, you can use these as bullet points in your journal. More die cuts. I'll just leave those ink swatches and a little number 1. So these more your documenting sort of ones instead, because this is the scrapbooking kit. What I love the most, little envelope, that's cute. Cup of coffee, flag, and a little bulldog clip. So that's those ones. These are like tags and things like that, and banners with more like a ledger sort of look, which that's really cool. It's a big one. So that's a fold. They're like a little mini folder. So you fold those. It's scored So you can fold those and make a little folder. You can also glue the sides and make a little tiny pocket to put your tag in. So use your tape runner and make a little pocket in your planner. Or use them as the file folder. That's those two. And we've got some tags. All different sizes. And some big tags. Okay, these are the chipboard ones. So you've got some titles and quotes and things to use. They're sticky backed. So these ones you really can't separate. The ones that aren't sticky backed, you can actually separate, because if you separate these, you're going to lose your sticky. But if it's just a standard chipboard ephemera from like Stamperia or 49er Market or something like that, you can actually peel the cardboard back off very carefully with pliers and start it with a little knife to make it thinner in your book. Another set of rub-ons with different images on, but of the same thing. Okay, she always sends 2 white cardstocks for you to create something and then stick it in your planner or in your journal. And these, you get 2 of the same, so I won't undo that packet because it's the same. So you get that design double-sided, the dots double-sided, the tags double-sided. So then that way you can either make a 2-page, or if you like both images, have a 1-page and you're not missing out and having to use the back. Oh, don't want to lose my sticker, stick that over there. Okay, let's have a look at the last thing. Sticker booklet. Okay, these are pet stickers. That is really good. I hope she does this every time. Love it. So you've got quotes, 2 pages of this, 3, 4 pages of the same thing, but they're quite generic quotes that you can use over and over again. A photo of, currently, grateful for, today was, so you can use multiple of the same thing. Then the alphabet. That is really cool. Love it. Love, love, love it. I hope she does that every time. That would be really good. I actually like this better than the big sheets of alphabet stickers. It's easier to store in your drawer and just grab. So I actually really like that. I have, I reckon, well over 1,000 alphabet stickers in different colours because I've been scrapbooking so long. And they're in a different room and I forget to go and get them. Because they're either those big puffy style 12 by 12 size sheets or A4 size sheets, and I don't have anywhere to store that stuff here. But that, it can just fit in my drawer. I could even stick it in there. Like I've got these in here. These were from another kit of Christine's from ages ago. And because I use them all the time, I just keep them in here. I don't know if that was hers. Sorry, Christine, if this wasn't in your kit. I actually don't think it was. But that's another one that I just like the elements of, so I keep that in there as well. But that can go in there. I have to sort it out and clean it up, but that's going in there so I can use it all the time. So that's really good. So I hope you enjoyed that unboxing video. Sorry I rambled on a little bit. I easily get distracted, but you get me how you get me. I don't edit my videos, so if I ramble or I'm too slow for you, just skip ahead and put me on fast forward. Or if you don't like me talking, mute me. But that's how I am. So I hope you come back with me for another unboxing video another day. But thank you, Christine from Cocoa Daisy, for such a beautiful kit. Again, every month is my favourite, but this one I absolutely love it. So thank you very much, everybody. See you later.